This is hot. I know in this video you're probably looking for an answer. Is this the right time to buy a Boeing stock or not? My name is Stephen Ojo and welcome to the channel. On my channel I do talk about saving money, investing, and how to maximize the use of our money. If you are interested in topics like that, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a thumbs up. So let's get to the video. Hey guys, Southwest Airlines just announced that they're cutting back on their Boeing aircraft deliveries. Why? Because they just experienced a first quarter loss in 9 years. Now, I thought about just including this in the video because I felt that's the most updated information that I have. So let's get to the video. Boeing Company has been experiencing a lot of issues recently. As we all know, they've been really hit by the virus and also the fact that 737 MAX has been grounded for a while. And this doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Is this the right time to buy the Boeing stocks? Boeing went from a high of about $380 down to about $129 recent times, and that's not good. That's terrible. As an investor, we always want to look for those great companies that are at a bargain. Unfortunately, this environment is a bit of a tricky one because we are trying to find great investments, but at the same time, we don't want to take unnecessary risks. To give you a quick background to this, Boeing released the MAX 8 in 2017 and the MAX 9 in 2018. Unfortunately, the same MAX airplane experienced a crash in October 2018, which was flown by Lion Air, and in March 2019, Ethiopian Airlines also had a crash. Now, as you can see on the chart, on October 29, 2018, when the crash happened, you can see the downtrend in the stocks, but then it quickly recovered into March 2019, and March 2019, on the 10th of that month, was when Ethiopian Airlines also had a crash. The FAA decided to ground the airplanes since there was a lot of similarities in the way the airplane behaved and how it mysteriously led to a crash. So they grounded the airplanes in order to do a deeper investigation, which I believe was a good thing to do. Now, they found out that the MCAS system, which is the maneuvering characteristics, during the course of the investigation, they found out the maneuvering characteristics augmentation system was part of the reasons why the airplane crashed, and they needed to fix that problem. So the airplane has been grounded for a while, and in fact Boeing released a statement that the airplane should be back in service by January 2020. We are in April at this point and we're yet to get any feedback as to when this airplane will be back in service. That's very sad news for the airlines that own this airplane and also the Boeing company. So what is the current situation? As it stands right now, Boeing has a backlog of about 4,079 aircrafts that are yet to be delivered, and obviously that's because people are not taking deliveries, the airplane is grounded, so there's no point to actually go ahead and deliver airplanes. The other thing also just keep in mind is that each airplane on the 737 MAX, 8, for example, cost about $121 million. That's a lot of money. Now, I'm a believer of doing a bit of technical analysis and also some of fundamental analysis. So let's look at those numbers real quick. As you can see here, I have the Boeing Company stocks pulled up on my TD Ameritrade account, and we have the, income statement. Actually, let me change it to balance sheet here. And one of the things we want to look at right away is how has this company performed, just without going into details of every aspect of the balance sheet. We have here total inventory. Okay, now if you are into sales and if you know a bit of sales, you want to know that you don't want to carry too much inventory over time. There's generally an average amount of inventory that you want to hold on to, because as a business, especially the corporate businesses, you want to preserve cash and hold a little bit of inventory. And then the next thing is those inventory are actually supplied through loans, because you don't want to spend cash. You want to keep as much cash as you can and use loan to run your business until a certain due time where you then pay off your loan, and then you keep making profit. That's the key thing. You want to make profit. So in this case, total inventory for Boeing Company in Q1, which was reported in March 31st, 2019, was about 65 million. Okay, and then total inventory, if you notice, increased to 68, to 73, and 76. That is not really a good sign, because like I said, a established company that is stable will not want to hold too much inventory and will not want an increase in inventory unless they are projecting an increase in demand. But just to prove my point to you, let me just go to another company that produces aircraft, which is Textron. Here we have total inventory. As you can see, in the same period, similarly, we have a total inventory, about 4 million, 4.3, 4.4, and 4 million again. That seems healthy because you don't want to hold on to too much of inventory. But then the other thing also to consider is this. Let's look at Lockheed Martin, all right? that's another big, company. LMT, I believe that's what it is. Lockheed Martin. Let's go back to their inventory. Okay, 3.5, 3.4, 3.6, 3.5. Again, that shows you what, and mind you, this is a company that stocks is selling about $381 at this point. So it's pretty, comparative. Let's go back to Boeing. Okay, that's one thing that stands out to you as an investor. You're looking at, wait, why this stashing up inventories? All right, and mind you, like I said, most of these things are supplied through loans, so that's not good because that means they're taking on too much debt. But then let's continue to the total debt. Okay, liabilities. So let's see a total liability. So let's look at total debt. Total debt says here 14.7, 19.2, 24, 27. That makes you quiver because, again, if you're going to invest in a company, you don't want to co-invest in a company that is holding on too much debt, especially if they're increasing the number of debt. And that shows trouble, right? That shows a lot of trouble. But then liabilities, as you can see, same thing increases, which is not really good as well. And let's look at the total equity. As you can see, the equity in the company is really decreasing. Retained earnings, all right, let's look at that, decreasing a lot. That means they're burning cash. That's what it means, all right? They're spending a lot of money to stay afloat because they're not making profits. But then let's go to income statement. That's another one that I really look at, all right, without boring you with too much details. Total revenue 22, 21, 19, 20. Okay, but then let's go back to their total operating expense 20, 24, 18, 22. Now let's look at the total net income. All right, over here, total net income 2.1 negative, 1.1 negative. All right, so but again, just to prove to you, let's look at what a company that is relatively stable looks like. Okay, that's Lockheed Martin, a comparative one. And let's go to the income statement. Let's go to the revenue, total revenue 14, 15, 15.8, 15.6. Okay, but then let's go to expenses 12.4, 13.0, 13.7, 13.5. But then if we go to the net income 1.4, 1.6, 1.4, and 1.7, no negatives. Okay, so the point is this. As we can see, there's a lot of problem going on. It's obvious as we've seen in the stock performance, looking at the technical numbers and technical details, the graphs and charts, but also looking at the income statement, looking at the balance sheet, we've seen that there's a problem, obviously. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow because guess what? Boeing reports their earnings tomorrow. It says unconfirmed, however. Next earnings announcement will be April 29, 2020, which should be tomorrow, but it's unconfirmed. And as we had predicted in the previous analysis, as you can see here, they reported a net loss of about 641,000 compared to 2019, where they made a profit, or at least they were in the positive side for about 2 million. And that's a huge difference, all right? But again, that was expected according to the statements here. They actually reported, the fact that 737 MAX and the COVID-19 are impacting the industry, and that's why they are experiencing this loss. But the other thing also to look at is their debt. Long-term debt is about 33, so that's about 33 million, right? Compared to last year when they had only 19. So obviously their debt is also increasing. So you can tell that it's very difficult to, conclude as to if it's a good time to buy the Boeing stocks, like I said, because there's so many factors right now. Things are not looking good, and I hope that maybe they will magically come up with something good in terms of their numbers, but I really don't think so, because as you all know, they recently canceled their deal with Embraer as well, because they probably need money and things are just tight right now with the aviation industry. So with that said, I hope that I'm sorry we could really answer that question if it's a good time to buy or not, but I've given you the necessary information and it's up to you to decide if you want to buy or not. But one thing I'm going to say is that, you see, opportunities like this are times that we can take risks. Okay, when the stock is down this much, well, if you have some money that you're not going to use for the next maybe 10 years, maybe 5 years at least, I would say that then maybe you can take a chance, you can take a risk, because remember, the rewards will be good. Boeing is not going out of business, I believe that. I don't think they're going out of business. They have a lot of sources of revenue. They provide aircraft for the military, they provide things to the government, services to the airlines, and so on. So they're not going out of business. But the point is, times are tough. And you as an investor need to be tough and be ready to ride, the volatility that may be ahead. So it's up to you to make that decision, and I leave it up to you. But just to let you know, I'm not an expert in this field. I'm just a person that is interested in investing, and I love to talk about things like this. So if you found value in this video, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong in my opinion or not? Okay, with all the information I've shared with you, I hope that you found some value, and I hope I haven't wasted your time. Please have a great day.